Call from lifebymuse.com, and I'm here with Bob Doyle, creator and facilitator of the Wealth Beyond Reason program. And viewers sent in some questions, so we're just going to chat a little bit.
Let's do it.
Okay, let's do it. Eunice Del Rosario from globalvoicesonline.org asks, this is a tricky one.
Great.
Start out with the tricky one. What makes you different from the others claiming to help people like me reap benefits from the law of attraction? There's a second part to that.
Okay. Well, I mean, I just think all of us doing this have our own unique story, our own unique background. I'm certainly not out there saying I'm better than these other people, but you're going to find people that you resonate with. There are certain teachers that I can listen to, but I would probably not be able to listen to them for very long. It just doesn't speak to me. And so what's different about me is I'm Bob, and they're them. And if you experience it a little bit of how I address this stuff, and it works for you, if it feels right to you, then come on. If not, then there's lots to choose from, obviously.
And I could actually say something about that too, because I've experienced Bob. And if you've only seen him, I've experienced him. If you've only seen him in The Secret, what you don't know about Bob is that A, he has a really great sense of humor, he's very down to earth, and the way he presents the principles it's not in this out here way. Right. It's very much in a tangible, real world way.
I guess that's if there is something pseudo unique about my story, is that I try to address people like I was, which was, I want to believe this, I want to understand it, I want to live my life by design, but I'm just not buying into this just because they say it and it sounds good. So I've done just a ton of research on the science of all of this, and I want people like me who consider themselves to be intelligent people who don't want to just blind faith follow somebody, to really understand why we're saying this stuff really works, because that was the only way that I could really put it to work in my life. I could read it, I could understand it, I could intellectually get it, but until the lights went on and I could get sort of the science behind this whole attraction thing, it wasn't showing up for me as something I was experiencing. So that is my particular angle. I really want to speak to the mainstream. I'll speak to everybody, but there's a special place in my heart for the people who would normally kind of be cross-armed about it.
Yeah, he's good with the skeptics.
Right.
Yeah.
Bring them on.
Bring them on. So the next question from Eunice is, what should we look out for when it comes to finding someone to coach you in law of attraction, since there are a lot of quacks out there?
Again, I think you just trust your gut, trust your intuition. In my case, I try to make a lot of stuff available freely, so that people don't have to invest money to find out whether or not it works for them, whether or not my style works for them. And I think a lot of people are doing that. Certainly the people who I think you should follow will at least let you get some idea of what they're about before they just take your money for their course or their program or whatever. Again, so much of this work is about following your intuition and trusting your feelings and your guidance system. And I think certainly, like I alluded to before, you're going to resonate with somebody or you're not. If somebody gives you the no feeling,
don't do it.
Don't do it.
Yeah. So experience the person.
Yeah.
And
right.
see if it feels like a fit.
The person and what they're saying, and ask people, just like you pick a plumber.
Yep. Okay, so ready for the next question?
Now I am.
Now I am, okay. Cynthia from CynthiaKimball.com asks, when you're at the point where you can see your manifesting really working and working quickly, how do you keep yourself from getting too thrilled? You should get thrilled, right?
I think you should get thrilled, absolutely.
But she wants to know, how do you keep yourself from getting too thrilled where it sends out the wrong vibration? I keep getting excited and on track, but if I do it too much, I can get too hyped.
I think getting thrilled is good. However, I think maybe she means, sometimes you get to the point where this is too good to be true. The other shoe's going to drop or something like that. Or maybe she's feeling that, I don't know, maybe that she's manifesting too much and there's something wrong with that. We could approach it from several different angles, but the basic thing is you want to be thrilled. You want to stay in that sense of joy and gratitude for what you're getting. The more you can stay in that without second guessing, should I be doing this? If you can just let go of this whole idea that there's such thing as being too thrilled, it'll help you tremendously. Because that's what we're here, that's the whole point of this, right? Is you want to manifest, you want to attract to be thrilled.
Right.
So don't, but that is indicative of maybe some underlying resistance that, there's only so much that you should have, or you should only be too happy, or or you could be too happy, or whatever it is. So that might be an area that she looks at, like, why would she believe there might be something wrong with being too thrilled? Like, what is her belief about that? Is everything going to go away, or is she going to lose it all, or that's where I would look. But basically, if you can have a pure sense of being thrilled, that's awesome.
Yeah, because the emotions is what attract.
Right. That's the whole point.
Mm-hmm. Right. And Karen says, here's a long one, okay? My question, and it is burning, because I said, what is your burning question?
Mm-hmm.
That question is very burning. From what I've seen and read here and in Wealth Beyond Reason, Bob is big on pursuing your passions and what makes your own heart sing. And that is the thing that's different in each of us. I totally agree with all of that, but I want to know his thoughts on loving and living in the now, as in each moment giving our best, realizing what we do does not define us, but how we do it or how we feel about how we do it. I believe that we are learning to love us unconditionally and thus able to love others. But if we can't be okay where we are now and put 100% into that, then we are needlessly beating ourselves up, not getting the lessons in our contrast. So she's got it there.
Mm-hmm.
And ultimately selling ourselves short. We take ourselves on every journey, every adventure, no matter what situation we find ourselves in. I believe this is the lesson why the present is a present. I'd love to hear Bob's and anyone else's thoughts on this, especially yours, Colin.
So go. She didn't want to hear from me. No, it really is all about being in the present, because that's really the only moment we can experience.
Mm-hmm.
Now we can project into the future or dwell in the past and all of that, but I don't think there's anything. I'm trying to understand. Living your passion is something that you're doing in the moment. I mean, that's what we want. That's why I am so pushing following your passion, discovering that sense of purpose, which can change and evolve all the time. Because if you're doing that, the more that you're doing that, the more that you're naturally, the law of attraction works effortlessly, because you're living in this blissful state and thus attracting, you're in resonance with more of that.
So what if she's got a job over here and her passion is over there?
Mm-hmm.
Then what do you say?
Well, I would ask her a series of questions about why her passion's over here, or her job, for example. This hypothetical job you brought up, does she like this job or no? Oh, she doesn't like this job. I'm just going to
say she does not.
All right, so she doesn't like this hypothetical job. So,
and a lot of people have this where, okay, they have job A, they would love to have, C or whatever, not even B, but C.
Right.
And they feel like they're stuck in A because they need to make money,
right.
This is their reality. And people, like someone might say, oh, just go do C. And they'd say, well, how do I just go do C?
Yeah. Well, it's going to be different for a lot of people. In my case, for example, I got to a point in job A that I hated, that I couldn't go another day, and I just bailed. Now, I don't suggest that for everyone, because it was 9 months of terror after that, right? But what I suggest for people who, cannot rationalize leaving their job, that would bring up so much resistance that the whole thing would backfire. It's really all about continually taking inspired action. If they want to be at C, do a little bit of C, whatever C they can, with the intention of getting there. Not just, in other words, it's a totally different mindset to, well, I've got this job, this is my hobby, this is what I like to be doing, but I'm only going to relegate a couple of hours a day to it, it's a totally different mindset. I am going towards this direction. That is my intention. That's my vision. And so as they're meditating on their vision, or they're visualizing, whatever it is that they're doing, it's not just about finding more time to do it. That's what they want to. That's who they want to be. So they have to step into being this thing that they're passionate about is who they are. When they do that, the situations and the circumstances will arise that will show them the path to making it from A to C. But if they're over here and they're just stuck in that whole mindset is, well, I can't leave this to go do this, they're going to attract more of being stuck there. All the evidence is going to be that they can't leave to go do this. But if their intention is different, if their feeling space is different about moving on to that other thing, and they pay attention, they're going to see that all sorts of possibilities present themselves.
And I like what you said about doing a little piece of C, a little piece of C, a little
right.
piece of C.
But with the intention of moving towards C, not
right.
just to do it just to get your little fix.
Right.
Because that keeps things relegated in that hobby category, and it'll stay there their whole life.
With the intention that it's going to grow.
Yeah, right. What they want to do is move from being this person who's working job A to being job C, right? Yes. It's all about who you're being, because that changes vibrationally what you're putting out there and what will show up for you to act upon. And then you have to take that action as it shows itself. Follow your intuition.